Team pick.
All right,
let's go. Juggernaut.
Well, you didn't predict it.
You're right.
I'm a little bit disappointed. You tried your best.
I did.
I mean, you've been fantastic every other time.
Every other time.
Every other game. But this one, Via, it's not really, step it up a little bit and predict SMG's last pick right now.
Oh, right now. Let me analyze everything real quick.
Perfect.
5 seconds remaining.
Techies.
Can't wait to see it. No, what are they sort of twisted?
Night Stalker.
Oh my
They
god,
called
you got it. Yeah, that was like a millisecond.
close.
It was you just beat them to the race there.
I did.
Fantastic. Okay, where do you sit with these? Give me a little bit about the synergy. Are you surprised by SMG? Is this the outrageous stuff that you wanted from them?
No. This is pretty standard counter pick. Night Stalker counters the Juggernaut. You have like this AoE silence. Can't really get out of it by Blink Dagger. So most people, when they see Juggernaut, they do go for Night Stalker. So this is a little too meta, I think, for SMG to pull off. But we'll see.
All right, that one's gonna be very interesting. Does that mean you're gonna side with Boom taking?
This is a tough one. I mean, Boom just kind of got slapped in the last game. Pretty hard. I don't know if they're going to be able to bounce back from it. I really do like the Enigma. So I'm going to go with Boom because like I do want to see Juggernaut win his first game ever. So that'd be nice.
I know that we can't hear Sheep, so I'm going to ask her which team. You don't get anything else other than team, and I'll repeat it for the broadcast. Oh, Boom. She didn't even say the name. Boom. Alrighty, fantastic. That is going to be us from the catch. So we're going to on game 3 between Boom and SMG.
Thank you so much. Now we do go into it. Game number 3 here against Boom Esports and SMG. John, it's looking a lot more even than, say, the last 2 drafts, I would argue. SMG obviously into this
draft they had in a while, except maybe for the sport Kunkka for Afu, but Afu loves the kind of playmaking pause. First, Kunkka's still one of them, so we'll see if Afu can get a lot from that hero. But I like Boom's lineup. I can't help but cheer for the Black Hole. You've got great combinations with the Mars, with the Enigma. You've set up here for your Hoodwing to play around with as well. And just a lot of circles on the side of Boom. Black Hole, Midnight Pulse, Arena, flying circles with Bushwhack. It's all lining up here.
certainly is, John. Thank you for that. Another team fight might break out already. FBZ very far forward to Raging. He's going to move in. Twilight Dye hasn't in chat to slow him down even further as mid one. Going for a bit of a cheeky swipe at Skem, but they aren't going to commit. Boom Esports obviously a very weak level 1 timing right now. Definitely can't really afford to go for a big 5v5 team fight. And I mean, to be fair, SMG also have a pretty weak level 1 timing, so it seems like they're more than happy to get aggressive right off the bat. I suppose it did work out for them in game number 2, being so aggressive. See if they can repeat the same kind of performance here in game number 3. We'll talk about the pause 1 jug, by the way, John. Like, how do you feel about this going into the draft of SMG? Do you feel like it can work out here for Boom?
I think it's got a lot to play for. The biggest threat to the jug is definitely Raging Potato with that Crippling Fear, but beyond that, Jackie has free reign to just spin through the Kunkka spell, spin out of the Wukongs if ever it comes through from mid one. He's got some good damage output to play with if he can get the farm up, and I'm keen to see what Jackie does farm in this game. Like, will he go for Battle Fury, as we tend to see sometimes from some jug players? Will he just go for the standard sort of Maelstrom build up, start running around, play with a spin a little bit more, go for the Ag sound line? Like, the jug does have to have that consistent game, and I think the side of SMG is going to have a pretty good time managing. Afu kind of just clearing out the Eidolons from Tim's, getting some good gold for himself with the level 1 Tidebringer. That does mean Jackie gets a little bit more room to just farm. So even though they can take away the Eidolons, as long as Jackie can zone out and still play in this lane before the first nighttime hits and before level 6 is up and raging, you're still fairly satisfied with that. And the kill threat of Kunkka and Night Stalker isn't the highest. It's double melee up against Enigma still. Malefice is still going to be a threat. Midnight Pulse, if a value point is taken, is pretty big as well. So Jackie should still have a fairly decent time getting some farm here.
Oh, see how let's go. Have a look at the other lanes as well. Mid lane, Moon against Yopaj here on Pango versus Void Spirit matchup, and well, Yopaj has been playing tiny for the first 2 games, so this time around a bit of a switch up. His third different hero of the game being the Void Spirit. How is this matchup meant to go, John, the Void Spirit versus Pango?
It's fairly even back and forth. The Void Spirit can dodge out a lot of the physical output of the Pangolier with his Resonant Pulse, but Yopaj should still have a pretty smooth time farming up here and clearing out the creep wave, so should be relatively close for both sides. Rune control, it's a little bit easier. From when I say that, Yopaj could just use the Swash to take rune control as well. Not ideal, considering that he does want to clear out the creep wave just a little bit more. I think it really just depends on support rotations for mid as well. I think if you can manage to get a good jump in with Skem in particular, the lane becomes a lot more manageable, but Moon is doing a great job, and every single time he lands his Remnant, it's a lot of damage to toss onto Yopaj, and he's just not able to spam his spells out as much. Mana pool just not quite as high, doesn't have his bottle into the lane yet, so it's a slower start for Pango here.
How's that top lane going as well? Parlay die in mid 1 against FBZ, and what's getting there on the hoodwink. A bit of a bushwhack here onto mid 1. FBZ have the speed to throw out, but still plenty of damage being dealt here towards the side of SMG. I suppose we've seen this matchup already today. The Mars versus Monkey King. Again, you get the Chingu mastery, but you can always kind of just be speared away here by the Mars, and even Skem with the bushwhack can be quite annoying to try and fight against.
Just a lot of chipping damage across both sides. I am keen to see them land. You know, something I've always wondered. Monkey King's on a tree, and you use bushwhack on that tree. Does Monkey King get tied up to his tree?
I think he does.
He should, right? Right? I just want to see it. I don't think we've ever seen that because Monkey just jumps around it.
I'm pretty sure I've done it
Dire's
myself.
middle tower is
All
under
right,
attack.
Mikey.
Yeah,
you don't have to show off like that. All
Don't
right.
want to be a big shot or anything, John, but I'm pretty sure I've bushwhacked a Monkey King myself in the game. The dirty hoodwink spammer that I am.
Gotta see it. Still, so far, slower lanes. Not too much aggression coming out. A little bit of drop and low on both sides, but not enough to really find a kill. Slower start does feel stronger for SMG. They're getting a lot more out from Moon and from Raging as well. He's keeping up with the farm of Jackie. So despite not having too much laning presence in terms of harassing out Jackie, he is still getting that build up. Double Bracer already up for the Night Stalker.
Dire's
Only a
turret
minute until
has
first
been
night
killed.
time, so lots more value in the Hunter in the Night and a little bit more from the Void as well. They are reaching that slower point for SMG to kind of just get that early timings they need. And if Raging isn't punished during the slower phase of Night Stalker's
Dire's
game,
top tower is
it
under
does feel like
attack.
the Night Stalker is going to be a massive issue. And once he's got that crippling fear in nighttime, just jumping Jackie before the spin stop, and then just rip apart the drug if you're not careful.
Alright, no, he's dropping very low now, but oh, the neutral creep.
Whoa.
Just kind of pushes himself away there. Very, very clever by Parlay Die. I didn't even know that was possible.
It just shoves everyone away. So manages to get the gap, the distancing that Pylite needs to save himself, not bleeding any kills out. Mid one's been having a great lane top, as you mentioned. You know, Monkey King tends to have a great time here, but down the line, FBZ is going to be able to threaten with the arena. We've seen him tree break mid one multiple times in that first game. So you have ways of stopping that mobility out. I think the big question in my mind here, Mike, is still what can Off do on that support Kunkka. Right now, his focus has been just clearing out Eidolons. He's been getting some good gold off the back, but 13 last hits on our pause 4 right behind FBZ. So the Kunkka is paying off in that sense, but not see that impact down the line.
Speaking of impact, John, Parlay Die has been doing a fantastic job here for SMG, finding a first blood here for Skem. I'd say during game 2 was really quite influential on that IO. Already showing quite a bit of influence here on the Enchantress for game number 3.
Just getting all the good creeps he needs, getting control, going into opposing triangle as well, clearing out the camps and getting some build up for himself right around the 5.5 minute mark. So going to be able to contest that 6-minute rune as well, getting that early rotation onto Yopaj. Doesn't have a roll up yet, could be in a spot of danger.
He may swashbuckle, be able to get him out of there as Parlay Die actually taking quite a bit of tower aggro. Yopaj still trying to chase a bit forward, but is going to be unable to chase down the Ench. Because you always want to try and get this done as the Enchantress Enchantress because you do have that level, or rather the 5-minute siege creep timing here. For either side, Twilight can take advantage of the winter zone neutral creep. Yopaj actually going to go for the Falling Thunder committal. The Bushwhack did not land from Skem, but he's going to keep trying to go after this kill. Pylai Die, however, is going to be just
Radiant's
fine.
middle tower
Rolling
is
Thunder
under
will not
attack.
work out as I think they
Radiant's
were heavily
courier
reliant on
has
the
been
Bushwhack
amazing.
landing
Radiant's
initially.
are scanning.
Once again, he'll be fine. He's going to keep trying to chase this man down and eventually does get him. In the meantime, down a bot lane, Arfu was getting rather low, but is also able to walk away. Seems like Raging was able to kind of zone out Jackie. In fact, they have another hero coming in. Moon is going to rotate over on the Void Spirit, but he has been scouted out. They know he's around. They shouldn't really be falling for this Void Spirit rotation.
And then does back off just a bit. Does manage to snag away the bounty rune of Boom and get a top up on his bot as well, and still has that arcane running. So if he finds a good flank, could look to punish. He knows the roll is down for a little bit longer. Doesn't quite have the backup to really use here. Remember, doesn't miss. Aqua's around
Dire's
now.
Rush has been killed.
Moon. Keep trying. Arfu, a nice torrent to land. Yopaj surely doesn't really die here. There is going to be another astral step, but he's going to be just fine to swash away. Unable to commit to the kill here. SMG won't dive any further.
Someday
They
rebuild.
are certainly putting a hell of a lot of
Radiant's
influence and
middle
just
tower
slowing
is
down
under attack.
Yopaj in that mid lane. Speaking of the devil, he's thinking about that rolling thunder. Bushwhack. Oh, it's not going to land again. Skem unable to connect for the second time in a row. Instead, they're going to go for the rolling thunder back in onto Pylai Die. Not the easiest target to go after, but if they can lock him down from enough, perhaps they can get him, but no. Yopaj, he's still trying. Keep in mind that he just bought a car, so his driving school's not really up there yet, Yopaj. Pylai Die. He's going to be able to walk out.
Yeah, another whiffed roll out from Yopaj, and still not quite finding that snowball they'd want from the mid. Pilot Eye just in the right spot. Healing is also quite sustaining him quite well now. Level 2 Nature's attendants on
Radiant's top
board.
tower is
So
under
bursting him
attack.
down is a pretty tall order for a Pango. And the side of SMG is starting to really delay that aggression out from Boom while also making moves bot. Jackie's all alone now.
He is. They takes him down, moving with the rotation over. Jackie, he needed like one more creep to get that level 6 timing. In fact, they do not need the MBA to rep it, but it may not matter. Still FBZ going to try and rotate and help out as Jackie somehow still alive. Hanging around, thinking about coming back in, but now Raging. He's the one who needs to leave, but he cannot. As FBZ will be able to catch him out from Mars. Somehow, Jackie survives the onslaught.
Radiant's top
Jukes.
tower is under attack.
He may not be so lucky on the hoodwink, but he is actually surviving for quite a bit of damage, but
Radiant's
eventually
courier
will go down. They even found Tim's courier, but here comes Yopaj with the rotation. On the Pango, not quite connected to the swash. Doesn't have enough mana for the rolling thunder yet, but there it is. Arfu.
Radiant's
Chase
middle
down.
tower is under
Land the
attack.
initial stun, but once again,
Radiant's
it's stuck there on
structures
the
are
cliff.
fortified.
Can they actually get the kill? It doesn't seem like it. In fact, now Moon's going to jump back in. Onto the Enigma they go. Tims is going to drop Moon. Happy to take another. SMG, they'll walk out with a 2k net worth lead.
And Yopaj is just finding these weird snags on the cliff, getting himself stuck in the roll and just not finding the follow through.
Radiant's
So
middle
SMG starting to
tower is
pile
under
on,
attack.
buying a ton of space out from mid one up top as well. The Monkey King has been left uncontested while the action breaks out elsewhere, and they're able to get a lot of damage off onto that mid tier 1, down to 400 HP. Themselves out some good objectives and playing really well with Raging. He does have the Dark Ascension ready
Radiant's
to go as
bottom
well
tower is
on that
under
Night
attack.
Stalker. And the side of Boom, just it doesn't feel like they're in full fighting form yet. Tims is a long way off from finding a black hole skill point on
Dire's middle
himself.
tower
No
is
value
under
point
attack.
from Midnight Pulse. FBZ still working towards the phase boots into the blink, so you don't have that instant catch to follow through and try to rip someone off in the back line. And for SMG, they could just keep running. We're at that point where Kunkka support's starting to do a lot of work. Value point and EX is up. Smoke out from SMG for Moon and Afu looking to make plays here.
There you go. Raging does have the Dark Ascension, so quite easy to break the gap here against FBZ, who has no tree line to hide it. He'll show up on the creep wave, but it is going to mean his own death. They will chase him down with the Crippling Fear out. Eventually, they will be able to secure a very nice kill off to FBZ. He'll be able to take another here in the Void Spirit. So far,
Radiant's
Boom
bottom
Esports, they
tower
just do
is
not
under
have an
attack.
answer.
They're forced to play slow. They're forced to just keep trying to get
Radiant's
this farm
bottom
up on
tower has
Jackie
fallen.
and on Yopaj as well. The
Dire's
Pango Lear has
top
been on the
tower
release
is
so far. They might find five this time around.
They may. With the sharpshooter, it'll be much easier to take him down. Afu still hanging
Dire's
around
middle
in that
tower
Radiant
is
jungle.
under attack.
It's going to be spotted out by
Dire's
Skem, but
structures
is going to be
are
able to make it
fortified.
up. It's going to be a minute of the boss 5 inch, but they won't mind too much.
Radiant structures are fortified.
He's thinking about the Rolling Thunder on Afu, but there is the X back and he has no idea where Afu's going. Won't bother.
SMG just able to dictate the pace really well. Boomer just responding to movements in, and they find that one kill on Pi, but it's an Ench that doesn't really care to die. They might find Raging down bottom in the smoke though.
They're gonna try it. Bushwhack is there this time around. It's Raging. He's been caught out and they've got the sharpshooter. Should be absolutely no problem to take him out, and it won't be. Meanwhile, mid lane, however, Tim's he's gonna be chased down, but Afu unable to break the gap to land the X. Gonna have to let him go. Instead, Pylai Die will now find Jackie on the jug. Just kind of force him away from that triangle and can't take these ancient stacks for free.
This is so much space for mid when all
Radiant
the aggression
are
happening down bottom, mid, top, battlefield all of a sudden. More aggression coming through.
Yeah, Show crashes there. Yopaj gonna block out most of the damage, but they are still chipping away. Afu gonna back his way out. Easy has shown up, does get stunned up by the creep of Pylai Die. They don't really have the level 6 on the Enigma either right now, so it's a bit of a tough time to try and force the
You're a
fight.
trusty mate.
So even with the level 6, you haven't got a blink or a BKB up. Afu is actually gonna be spotted here by FBZ. Immediate pushback out from Scam, and that might just be a very simple kill for Boom to take.
Find something for their trouble. They've lost it in tier 1. Mid 1's also got the full battle fury up and running. This is just a free farm monkey. And that's scary. Your jug is going for Maelstrom. Jackie's not going to be going for the battle fury himself, just looking to have some early presence while still having some farm moving for him. But mid 1's going to be able to overtake real quick, and we need a solution for that. Maybe they're just confident that FBZ's going to be landing some good arenas once
Dire's
more
middle tower
to catch
is
out
under
mid 1.
attack.
They've got the Midnight Pulse to also break. They've got some pretty good team fight to slow down the monkey, but this 3k lead from SMG is pretty big, and they're just constantly smoking up. Still Dark Ascension ready on Raging. Blink up on the Night Stalker. If they find something like Jackie or Yopaj with Crippling Fear, it doesn't take too long for them to burst them down.
It certainly doesn't. SMG looking to move in towards the bot lane, but nobody's going to be around Boom to try and take out. Instead, they'll run right towards Tim. They might just be able to pick off this Enigma. Eventually will just drop and move. Able to pick up his 4th kill of the game on the Void Spirit thus far. A very active game for SMG. We'll keep going for more now. Dark Ascension pop, they've got the blink up Raging. He'll happily take the team fight as mid 1. He's going to let a battle strike down. Goes past, he's been caught out. He'll be able to switch away to the Rolling Thunder. Now the arena is there, but they have the missiles to fly right over. Side of the arena as Yopaj needs to back his way out of the Pango, and does do so, but the chase is still on. The Remnant is not going to connect Yopaj, but now for the line, but now the Black Hole comes in. They do finally take down the Pangolier, thanks to mid 1. They want a bit more. SMG eventually back off. Scam does show his way back up. It's a bushwhack back onto 1. And we'll be able to zone the mouth on the Void Spirit. And that's going to be enough for this team fight. SMG able to come out on top. Back then, never mind, it's not it for the team fight. Moon,
I'll get over it.
more chip damage, but that'll be it.
A lot of back and forth there. They find a bigger kills on SMG, killing off Yopaj and Jackie, who shows up, tries to use the Omni, doesn't get a good set of bounces or too much damage at all. Off on the
Radiant's
middle
top
of it.
tower
SMG, they've got both back to the one counter.
They jump. They do find one. Mid one, however, he's a much bigger target, but a nice mission dodge. In fact, the bushwhack not gonna land had it not been for that one. Still trying to run. They could not land the arrow there. From skin of mid one, it's still being chased down. Yokash is able to take him out. FBZ though, he's been caught in the meantime. Taking down the mask. Here comes the rolling thunder from Yokash, but where's he going? He'll try to chase down on the Void Spirit. In the meantime, Arthur still being chased up by Skem and Jackie. Does eventually get taken down by the Tug. So a bit of a successful team fight now for Boom Esports. SMG are the ones to overextend. In fact, Moon, he's not out of danger yet, but he does have an astral step charge. He should be fine. Skem? Well, Moon's getting a little bit greedy here. Bushwhack's not going to land though. He is going to be fine.
And he managed to bail out, cut their losses through. Some nice kills coming out from Boom, but SMG still a substantial network lead. Tim's not the safest spot. Moon's still ready to go.
Big trouble. If the Remnant gonna land, it's gonna be another kill to go the way of the Void Spirit. Moon 6-0-3 thus far. Really just uncontested.
And they're having issues pinning down the side of SMG now from Boom's end. They don't have the best lockdown for something like the Void Spirit. They have roll, they have spear. You've got to be able to get the jump on. You need a blink on Yopaj down line. He's going for the BKB first, just to ensure he lives through some of that control and magical burst from the side of SMG as well.
Look, they've got Raging Potato trapped up. Still, the boat is going to land, and that may actually save the day here for SMG. Don't ever want in Yopaj. He'll land with a wash. Even thinking about the rolling thunder, but a nice spear back from FBZ onto Arfu. Not landing on a tree somehow, but it may not matter as the bushwhack was there. Moon still held, trying to go for a kill onto Yopa. Does find him, but now the arena down. Maybe they can try to trade with the spear out. They've locked down the Void Spirit Moon. He still surely has a way out of this with the Assimilate and the Resonance Pulse. Really play out. They are still chasing though, FBZ. Will eventually find the kill.
Honorable death by my hand.
What a messy game it's been thus far, John. So much aggression from either side.
Yeah, and looking at this game, it feels much more like an SMG game. This is exactly what SMG love to do, just be disruptive, constantly force fights, constantly run around, occasionally have mid one join in. And for Boom, they're still trying to work on that farm for Jackie. Even Yopaj isn't having the best game here, behind even Raging Potato's farm right now on that Pangolier. So the Night Stalker managing to build up, Battle Cloud, BKB coming out for Raging Potato relatively soon as well, 2 parts away. And once that Night Stalker has that spell immunity up front, I mean, the initiation options for SMG are just all over the place. They could choose to jump in with Monkey, they could start with EX, they could start with the boat combination. Raging's gonna be super durable up front with a double brace or burst block. And the first damage from Green just isn't there. The catch Paya.
Yeah, another spear out from FBZ. Now gonna be a SMG now. Now boy, he's the one in trouble. Trying to survive, but the X back into the boat. A perfect setup for SMG once again. Down towards the bot lane they go. They won't find another, but they'll be very happy with that mid pickoff.
It's a big kill to get. They punish Yopaj just for stepping out a little bit. Really good ward still maintained here by SMG, playing in that area very well. In fact, all their vision's really good aggressively. One ward behind the tier 2 here on the tree line. Laning ward still remaining on the mid just to spot that movement out. This is space coming through from Boom for Jackie to farm, and he is still maintaining himself, managing to keep up somewhat with mid one.
Oh, Jackie.
Oh no.
He stuck around for the launch cap. He thought of attitude, and you can kind of see him backstepping there as he is going to go for the spin attempt with the healing ward, trying to get himself out. There is helping coming. Moon somehow still getting stunned outside of the arena. That was right on the edge. And I couldn't have sworn Moon was outside of the arena, John. How does that happen?
I think he was inside. He was inside the body of one of the soldiers in the arena, and wedged between that and the wall. It looked like it from my viewpoint. It's finicky, that one.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yopaj for a bit more here on Tarfu. Does have the diffusal blade to urge him up, but I don't think they have the damage. In fact, never mind. They've got
Dire's top
but he's
tower
going to
is
the fight with one. Moving in, onto Skem should have him. In fact, they've even got Japoy towards the north here, trapped up. It's been a very rough game for the Pango as far as Raging. We'll chase him down even further. He goes mid one with the Primal Spring and Yopaj. Gonna drop once again as mid one. He'll put the hand up. but he's getting no high fives, John.
There will be another time to fight.
He's been doing a great job, though.
Invisibility.
He's gonna be fine.
It's a tough one for Boom right now. 5k behind SMG, their aggression's just non-stop. They don't have any long ults to wait for. Moon already has his Ags up. The silence on Wilson Pulse just punishing them for not having any early BKB up at all. They're just so susceptible to all the stun control. Moon though.
Yeah, he gets caught underneath the sentry ward. Oh, black hole was committed. Unfortunately, apparently, John, you can resonant pulse in black hole, and he has an Aghanim scepter.
Yeah, that was something. I mean, I guess the first tick of
Dire's
control
middle
didn't pop
tower
out from Black Hole, and the Resonant Pulse just came out faster. So that acted first before the first actual stun tick came out from Black Hole and messed it up.
You'd be a great spokesperson for Valve, John. That's for sure. Zaf
Die in our hands and all.
is gonna go down here to Jackie.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Still gonna be able to back off, but they want to be able to try and go after this mid-tier 1 tower, and it has been a
Dire's
long
middle
time
tower
coming,
is
but
under
Jackie
attack. Dire's
is gonna be
middle
able to take it
tower
for
has
his
fallen.
team. That SMG is still a massive lead, 5k net worth their way. SMG, they just gotta play this calmly. Oh, FBC! How does he do it?
Dire are
Yeah,
scanning.
he has those sick game
Radiant's
senses. He
top
knows where the
tower
monkey's
is
gonna
under
jump.
attack.
Unfortunately, doesn't latch onto a tree, so they miss out on the kill opportunity. Mid one just gets to scurry away, keep the farm game up. Working onto his basher here, Mike. Almost done. Just about 200 gold away. And once that's up and running, the monkey can build this. The jug is just not going to feel safe. He could get bashed up in the middle of the man fight. Jackie's actually opting for a BKB himself just because of all that control. He's a doing smoke here to find a good end.
Immediately in on the Jackie. They've got the big target smoked him down. They have the damage, yeah, they do. Jackie's already gone. Yopaj, I mean, he's got the Rolling Thunder going, but it's not going to matter. He's going to TP out as SMG.
Radiant's middle
For
tower
more, but
is under
unable
attack.
to find FBZ. I'm going to have to watch it walk away. But SMG, John, this game 3's off to such a strong start for him. And we know how important every single series is in this DPC format. I mean, one lost series, it can really work against you going into that major.
Oh, it certainly can. We already saw that to be an issue for him last time.
FBZ gonna try and fight back here. Against Twilight Knight, they'll find one. They're gonna try and force the fight against FBZ. Does have the mask control. Not just what they call up and try to survive, but it's not gonna be enough surely. FBZ, he will drop. And it's another successful trade for SMG.
They just find a nice big kill. They sacrifice Pi. Again, not a massive issue losing your inch at this point. And Boom have to commit. It feels like they have to commit a lot just to find these kills. They have to commit some heroes. They have to spend a lot of time on that first. Scam now, not safe here.
They have found the hoodwink. They'll make the jump in. Third immediately flying him up. Gopaj trying to go after the Conquer, but needs to go for the Rolling Thunder. He's trying to go back in after him with the Omni/Jackie. He'll have the damage. Can they find more? They want Arfu, and it looks like they've got him. So very back and forth here between these two teams. Boom Esports able to punish SMG now. The one big thing is though, mid one has been uncontested this whole game. Speaking of the devil, he's found Tips.
Has the pop to BKB charge, fresh BKB just to find that kill. Well, second use now, down to 7 seconds. And very well worked. You're stalling out the timing on Tims. You're preventing that Enigma from working towards the Wraith Pack into its BKB and just becoming this massive vibrant issue.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He finds him again, but the Wukong's command is out. Nice speed, but he is still within the ring apparently. He is still within the ring, Jonathan. This mid one is going to turn back in on FBZ. Raging with the BKB, going to be able to walk out and avoid the sharpshooter, but now with the crippling fear and Dark Ascension, they can really start to move in onto Jackie, but he'll get the spin away. SMG still looking for more. They know they're ahead. They want the team fight, especially with the Dark Ascension up and still going for half its duration. You want to keep the fight going. FBZ, he'll get caught out with the balance strike with Yopaj. He has popped the Rolling Thunder, going right after the Night Stalker's move. Has made the jump in, but Jackie will get the spin off in time. In fact, Moon, he does get summed up, but not for long. He'll survive a scam. Has he gone too far now? Nice shot on choice from mid one. Connecting on two, dancing for the one. As Yokan tries to jump in with the boat, it's going to connect. And spear back onto Moon, but Boom, they are dropping real darn quick. They need to back out of there. SMG, they're the ones who can keep forcing this fight. As FBZ, he's going to need to find his own way out. He'll tank through the damage. At least for now. Another Dark Ascension, rather filtering through his things. FBZ's forced to try and BKB up and run his way out. Onto mid one they go. Wukong's command, but the tree is going to block the way. He's sword in the ring as now Yopash. He's too far forward. On the Pangali, he might just drop. SMG, they've taken him down another time.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The aggression just does not stop with this team. They've still got a T2 tower to go back to though, mind you, John.
Radiant's bottom tower
Cleared
has
out, no
fallen.
issues. Gonna be opening up the high ground if they want to commit. Jackie has had enough, just goes back to farming. Working towards a Scotty instead, going away from the BKB build-up. SMG, I mean, this is classic SMG, right? And when the aggression works, it works in a big way. It doesn't feel like Boom have a lot of room to keep that build-up they need. They've not been able to get that development they need on Yopaj. Jackie, he's playing Jog. It's hard for a Jug to have that.
Jump in again, Scam. Trying to go on a bit of a warding mission, but does get punished immediately. SMG just not giving the breathing room here for Boom Esports. So move into the Roshan pit once again here, SMG. It's only moved so far though. You're going to need mid one to make it jump in. Mid one, however, trying to work towards his Aghanim Scepter. Does now have it up completely on the courier. So things get even more challenging now for Boom.
It's a tough game. They don't even have the full rate up yet on Tim's. He wants his courier on its way. They still have that option on the next fight, along with a blink for Enigma in some time. One good thing for Boom right now is their high ground. He's not been giving them that opportunity to show it off. Get that Aegis up. As you mentioned, Mike, Ags is up on mid one. He is more than willing to join these fights with the Ags Basher BKB. There's nothing to stop the Monkey King if he's in the middle of you.
This game is really just about circles, isn't it, John? I mean, you've seen how many times the spear out of the Wukongs in the arenas. It really has been a game about circles this time around.
It really has been. I'm telling you. Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of cool eccentric circles that we haven't seen yet. Nice spear.
It is a nice spear. Twilight Eye going to get taken down immediately. That's something, but you've committed the Rolling Thunder for that. So SMG, even without the edge, might feel like they can force this fight. They have the Dark Ascension up on Raging. It just gives so much vision during that night time as they are going to move in. If trying to go for the balance, but not enough yet. Mid one, more than happy to force the fight with the Aegis up. On mid flash, bounce right through Mateus. He's already gone. Crazy Potato will drop to Boom. FBZ, a nice spear away, but it's not getting him outside the circle yet. Instead, Nerf does get caught out. The sharpshooter, it's going to land from Skem right on the noggin. And Yopan is still trying to force the fight. SMG need to retreat ASAP. Fu barely going to avoid the spear from FBZ. It's still a very close affair between these two teams. As Boom Esports, they are not giving up quite yet. SMG, even with the Aegis up, don't need to back out. Or do they? Mid one with an Indus Rip, he's thinking about it. Tim's, he just wants to back on the Enigma. And he is going to drop. Mid one gets him with the statue. That's a big one.
And no, even for a minute, Black Hole's just been on standby. The build-up on Tim's this time, it's been tough. Skem's been playing more like Pause 4. He was playing on the off lane, and he's got a little bit more build-up in comparison. Raid pack is already up. Blink, it's still 1,000 gold off. BKB a long way off on top of that. And the threat of the combined force of Boom's teamfight just isn't coming out. SMGs just has no worries. They've gotten a lot of value out from Afu's Kunkas. They're doing a lot of work on that hero. The Rumbox is staying through a lot of these fights quite well. Things just been a beast on Nightstock. They just blink forward, cripple fear on top, forcing Boom to constantly make some plays when they don't want to. FBZ, he's not safe here.
Yeah, mid one is very active on the Monkey King, able to catch him once again as mid one forced to pop his own BKB after FBZ. Will continue to to chase. Yopaj, he's going to show up. The X is going to be there. Arena, now he's down the mid one. He got the Wukong just in time. He'll be fine to try and force this fight, or at least play defensively. The school's going out. Nobody dying, though. The thing is, for SMG, if they can win one team fight, they are going high ground. There's almost no doubt about it. It's not going to land on Skem. He's going to be all right in that hoodwink. SMG, they'll back off. They'll just accept the fact that the aggression has not paid off this time. 31 minutes in there, they still hold a 10k net worthly. Things are still very good for SMG.
But 5k of that's just solely on mid one. 5k ahead of Jackie, doing a great job, just continuously building up on his monkey. And they have that opening. It's just still up for a minute and a half. Lots of time left here to be aggressive.
Radiant
Pick
structures
up
are
FBZ this
fortified.
time around. SMG though, so happy to try and force this fight on the high ground.
Radiant's bottom
They don't have Jackie around right now, but he does have a TP in 10 seconds. They're going to be fighting without him for that 10 though, as mid one. Get right to work on that tier 3 tower. But try to chip away and slow it down as much as possible, but SMG are not backing off. FBZ though, a nice speed back on mid one. He does have the Aegis up, but they might be able to secure the first fight. He's not thinking of mid one. He's going to stand there and try to man up. It won't work out. To go. Dark Ascension there, but they got the Rolling Thunder in time. SMG have they gone too far. Meanwhile, he's going to be keeping up in time. Meanwhile, Palai died. He does go down to Jackie in the backside and seems the black hole out. They've got Rady Potato, but no, they will lose to the Enigma. And Jackie is dropping way too down low. Your mantra has run out of there. Mid one, trapped in the arena. Now the bushwhack out. FBZ back in. Mid one, dropping too low. He's going to go down. He'll keep the fight going, but no, he's going to drop the boot. They've gone too far. It's going to be a full team wipe out for Boom Esports.
Oh my god, that was just another back and forth fight. SMG forcing it through the racks, trying to find that position, but Boom just a bit too slippery. Great spell use from everyone. The FBZ this time managing to catch some big spears, and using that Aegis in that way from mid one just wasn't quite the answer. He wasn't
Dire's
ready for
middle
his second
tower
life.
is under
Gets caught
attack.
out. They got a lot more value from the mid-range pulse this time around, with the arenas coming through from FBZ, getting tick damage off and percent burden needed. They still lose Jackie, so it's not the smoothest for Boom. And they lose their bot racks. That's still a lane they're always going to have to check themselves against SMG. They narrowed network lead down to just 6k. And they do manage to get some room to get a push going from Yopaj onto the mid.
Come on, Sprite.
And just clear out, try to threaten high ground next time around they have an opening. We are seeing some of that scaling come in from Boom, and the presence of Enigma just cannot be understated. He did get his black hole cancelled from a really well-used boundless, as the
Dire's
panel pointed out, a
bottom
great
tower is under
counter
attack.
to the Enigma black hole if he's not in there. But down the line, Tims will eventually get a BKB if this game goes longer. And once that's up, you have no solution for that black hole. It's just going to go off every single time. And that's when you start to get a bit worried for SMG. They've lost most of their lead. Jackie with a butterfly is actually pretty hard to manage. You have nothing to pierce through that evasion from the side of SMG. And Jackie's just going full defense now. BKB's going to be picking up the next.
In they go. Dump is out. FBZ not in trouble yet as the arena is going to go down for one. He's been called out again. And now he flashes out. They've got the monkey doing a second time. Is raging. He has to back out. Somehow FBZ survives throughout all of this as Twilight Eye. He'll be chased out by Jackie. There's the bushwhack out from Skem. They'll catch another as Moon is trying to back get Arfu on the Kunkka. 3 down again. I'll tell you what, it really does seem all about FBZ, John. How many spears has this man landed?
He's landed
Dire's
a lot.
middle
That's the
tower
open for
is
high
under
ground. No buyback from the Monkey King. Without the Monkey, a lot of their damage is gone. They've gone all in and just
Dire's
enabled
middle
mid one to
tower
get their
has
goal.
Been locked down without buyback, John. This could be massive for Boom. SMG, they can't lose like this. They can't lose like this. Just not like this. Boom. He's going to make the jump in, but there's your spear out. It's flying at Boom Esports, going out again as Moon needs to back out of there, but instead they'll take raging. On the tier 4 towers they go. Boom Esports. They want to put a little mid-series. They've had enough. Jackie's onto the Ancient. That's not going to play with. Yopaj, off the back. There's your Kunkka. He's going to drop. Moon just the Void Spirit. He tried, but the HP is dropping. Half HP is almost gone. Boom, short and gold. Oh, it's all over SMG.
What happened? What happened? What was
I
this
don't know.
game? Oh my, look at the